Sunday afternoon. 3:00. I had to change the time because I was stuck somewhere. So I asked to suspend for Gucci. We can start at this time. Thank you so much for your patience. How are you guys doing this Sunday? She's coming. She's gonna be coming through shortly on the live. Molweni. Hello, Lerato. Hello, Lerato. Hey, everyone. Hi, Dan. Hi, Israel. Hi, Tumeka. Hello, Dan. Hello, Mabutla. Hello, France. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, Lindy. Where? Hello, Lucas. Hello, Tiani. Oh, sorry, guys, for the delay. Hello, Lindelwa. Hi. I just spoke to Sis Pet to check, but she said she's gonna come through. Hello, Mutles. She says she's gonna come through. I said she must just when she's ready. So we're waiting on her. Waiting for her. Got an ninjani, guys. No, Lerato, I'm not late. We were gonna do this at 3, and then I changed the time to 4:00 because round about 20 to 3, I could see that I'm not gonna be at home on time. So I changed the time. If you checked, it says 4:00 now. When you like fetching me, that's your thing. No. Here we are, Moshes. Here we are. We're just waiting on Lucy's Pet to come through. I sent her the link and stuff. She's gonna come now. She's gonna come. I just spoke to her because before I started here, I spoke to her to check. The same page. She said yes. So she's coming through. She's coming through quickly. You can write your questions that you want to ask her while we are here. You can write your questions. Hello, Vusi. Afternoon, Zanele. Hello, Riaya. How are you guys doing? How is your Sunday? Niyaphila, guys. Lapha nikhoyo. Hello, Nosphiwo. Hello, Tumeka. Ithe check usisiphethe. Hello, Stolepi. Hello, Eddie. Diapila. Hope you guys are also fine. Guys, do you hear any music or anything? Because where I am, I hear there's a lot of music playing and it's loud. Do you hear anything? Can you hear me very well? Hello, Tokasi. Eddie molonweni, hope right. Ndiyaphila, enkosi unjani? My Sunday is good. My sister, just weekend is too short. Indeed, it is. Utokasi, Hainoni. Uden. Who's this? Hello. Yebo. Ndiyaphila unjani? Mamela ndibhizi ndikwi-live, ndicela ungene kwi-live. Hayi ke uyaphoswa, ndim nosisiphethe. Bye-bye. Nanko sisiphethe. Bye-bye. Ewe, nanko sisiphethe kwi-live wam. Bye-bye. Sharp. Sure. Sorry, guys. Hello, Sispet. How are you doing?
Hi, Noni. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. You look pretty.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much for gracing my channel with your presence. Thank you very, very much.
It's only a pleasure, Noni.
Okay, before we get into any of these things, who is this pet?
Yo, I've got that question for I don't know how many
No, we
times.
have you are very intriguing.
Okay, now Noni, I'm just very, very ordinary. Really, I'm a family person. I like to spend time with my children and with my family gatherings, that kind of things. I really don't like attention. I don't like attention, but attention is always coming to me. So yes, I'm the
It's doing this.
type. Yes, attention is chasing me around. So yes, I'm a mother of four, and I was administration clerk in the South African Police Services. As you know, I'm a whistleblower, and I hate corruption. That's
Oh
that's
my
that's
god.
one of the things that put me in the public spaces because I really hate corruption, and I've been exposing corruption since 2008.
And you are still alive.
I'm still alive. I'm
It can
still
only be
alive.
God.
Yes. It really can only be God because considering the attempts on my life, I I should have been long dead by now, but I guess God is in control, and I will die when is the time for me to die. So up until that day, I will be here exposing corruption.
Suspect, aren't you scared for your children, for your mother, for your entire family nje at large? Aren't you scared for them with your life? The person that you are, the person that hates corruption, the person that hates anything that has to do with nepotism, corruption, all of those things that are very wrong. Don't you fear for your children, for your were you never or were they never used as pawn in terms of getting you out of wherever you are hiding?
Noni, my grew up knowing when I started to blow the whistle, my children was very, they were not even in school yet. The last one was not even born yet. So my children grew up knowing that that is the situation. This is why my family know I would be the one to take my brother to the police station whenever he did something, and he knew it. My children also know that should they do something wrong, my family's members know that I'm not going to be quiet about it. And my mother died when I was very young, and I was the one to who raised my siblings. So my mother raised me to always speak up about wrongdoing, to always speak my truth, and that's how I taught my brothers, and that's how I taught my children. So yes, there was a stage when things just got hectic, when I feared for the life of my children. And what I did then was to remove myself from them. Because when I went into hiding, it was actually not only to protect myself, but also to protect my family. Because when hitmen come into your house, they are not going to only kill you, they are going to kill everyone that they found in the house, unlike in the Senzo Meyiwa situation, where the hitmen came into the house and only shot one shot and they left. Now that's not how hitmen work. When they come, they will not leave. They don't leave evidence or witnesses, and that's mainly the reason why I went into hiding to protect actually my family. And yes, there was a time when all of us were afraid, but my children also started, my family also started to say that, you know what, should something happen to us, everyone will know it will be because of the fact that our mother is trying to expose wrongdoing that is happening in our workplace. And should anything happen to us, everyone will know that it's the people whom my mother implicated in the corruption. And there was just currently now really we are not really scared about anything that could happen, but we are also not reckless. We are cautious. We make sure that we always know what is happening around us. My children, as of my youngest, is the most cautious of them all because he's the one who also always notice when there's something out of the ordinary or something strange happening because he's the one who always took pictures where no one ever noticed that there's a strange car standing there, there's something strange happening in. So in a sense it was a good thing to make them more aware of the surroundings, but at the end of the day consumed by fear of these people, of getting hurt, of getting killed, because at the end of the day, someone will die, and we don't know when and how are we going to die. So we can't be consumed and be frightened and just be home indoors and maybe just waiting for someone to come in and hurt us. That is not how life works. We are moving on with our lives. And yes, as I said, everyone is cautious. And my children made peace with the fact that this is their mother, this is their parents, is like that. And this is a life that they grew out. They happened in 2008 when they were still very small. They are young adults now and they can take care of themselves.
You are a brave woman, suspect. It could never be me. Yo, you're a very brave woman. You're a very but South Africa, I feel like is blessed to have someone like you because most of the things that um you speak about are real things. Number one, number two. In fact, everything that you speak about is real things. But what I'm saying when I say most of them are real things, I mean it's things that we also see, but some of us don't have balls like you do, number one. And then the other thing is that maybe it is the fear for other people. It is the fear of the things that will happen to you because of how South Africa has become and how people and being shut up is working for those ones that are corrupt, and then people
Yeah.
don't want to be involved in such. And you always bring things that are like current. It's like you are a current affairs person that is telling us about things that are currently happening. You always know the things, but you are no longer at Saps, right? But you are well informed about things. You are very well informed about things. I remember when you started to talk about Brigadier Kininda. You mentioned a lot of things, and this Brigadier Kininda, at the time we were only hearing about his name, Kininda this, Kininda that, Kininda this. We were like, who the hell is this person in the Senzo Meyiwa case? And finally he came through. I don't want to lie, when he was the first time he came to give his evidence, when it was the trial within a trial last year up until this year January, I think. He was a different man. He was arrogant. He was full of himself. He was very confident. Everything was up. I don't know. I don't know. For some weird reason, I feel like after you expose case numbers and everything about him, he's a different man right now where he is. Has he ever tried to also take action against you, maybe get you arrested, saying that you are saying things about him that you can't prove, perhaps, or whatever? Has he ever?
No, he has never directly tried to silence me. And he's never even taken any legal action against me because he won't, because he know all the things that I've been saying about. What I always do, Noni, before, as you said, that I'm not in SAPS anymore, but I have all the information. The reason being is I'm well connected. I am extremely well connected. You know what? Intelligence about the police is about having human resources. You must have people who trust you. And the reason why people trust me is when people is giving me information, I will never, ever, ever expose. that source who gave me the information. And I built a trust relationship over the years with many, many police officers across South Africa. I have sources across the spectrum of the South African police services, intelligence, the government, even into minister's office. I have sources. So even when I get information, I'm not just going to run with that information. No, I'm going to ask that source to say, you know what, you've given me the information. It looks legitimate. But for me to go public with it, I must also confirm whether it's actual, it is legitimate. So then I will ask for evidence. So once I go public with information, you must know that I do have the supporting evidence of that information. Hence, no one can come to me, not Vinanda, not Sibia, not anyone that I ever exposed in the public domain can come to me and say, Sibia tried, in fact. Uh, they sent a letter of demand to me to say that I've been making allegations about him being on the Senzo Meyiwa scene, the first one on the Senzo Meyiwa scene. They sent a letter of demand to say he's suing me. And my response to his lawyer, because this letter demand came through WhatsApp, my response to his lawyer was, go ahead. What you are currently doing is taking it public. And once you're taking it public, we must do everything public because the information that I'm now going to expose that I already have in my possession, we are taking it public. And I've never heard since I responded to them like that, challenging them to say, let's go public. The lawyer went quiet. It's been since April. The lawyer went quiet. I've never heard anything about. And the reason why I said that, Shadrach Sibia is well known to me. Although he has been denying it to some people that he doesn't know us, he was a very, very good close friend to my husband. Very, very good close friend. And you know what? When people are very, very close, they tell one another very, very secretive or very, very sensitive, intimate information. And that's what he did. And that's the information that I have. And that information can be confirmed by other witnesses, like the former crime intelligence head, Richard Mdluli. He can
Yes.
confirm it because went to Shadrach, to Richard and Mdluli, with Shadrach Sibia. Both of them were there. Not him, there's other people. Remember, Shadrach Sibia was the head of the Scorpions in Free State before the Scorpions was disbanded. So there's a lot of investigations that Shadrach Sibia was supposed to do that he covered up that we know
Sure.
about. So I have a lot of intel on Shadrach Sibia, and I think he realized that taking this public is going to shoot himself on the foot because once we go public, I'm going to tell it all. I'm going, you know what? I'm going to bring it all out into the public space. So none of not even the national commissioner, not even Becky Tsele, no one will sue me because they know I have evidence against them.
Sure, suspect. Okay, let's talk about when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case. We hear that, and by now we understand that there is a cover up on the case because of the evidence that before you even spoke, before you even said anything about it, the evidence that is in front of the court, it is not aligning with what happened in the house. And the evidence, the state itself that keeps on bringing, is not helping the case. Instead, every time, in fact, they brought the Vodacom person, that Vodacom person made sure to tell it all. Then that person took the IQs out of the crime scene, completely out of there. And then the DNA also did not put them in the crime scene. And the other person who came was who? But every time they tried to bring any evidence, it always goes down the drain because it will show that these IQs have nothing to do with the crime. Now, so when it comes to that, we kind of see there is a problem with one thing. Initially, the first day the crime happened, someone cleaned the crime scene and there were officials that were there. And it's not
Mm.
really clear who were they, those people that
Mm.
arrived, that were police officers and other departments of South Africa in the government. Who were those people that first arrived there?
Noni, let's start with Shadrach Sibia. Remember the Netflix documentary where Shadrach Sibia says, I was the first person to arrive on the scene. And when I arrived on the scene, I didn't find any bullets. Let's start there. So, my question is, why is Shadrach Sibia not a witness? Why is Shadrach Sibia not a witness? Because Shadrach Sibia is the first person who saw the scene. He is the one that had to come to tell court before anyone else. Let's leave the other people. Before anyone else arrived on the scene, he is the one who saw Senzo Meyiwa lying down there on the floor dead. Understand that? Why is Shadrach Sibia not in court? Why do we have Pinky? Why do we have Trekkers, Elizabeth Maria, whatever? Why is the relevant person who was on the scene not even as a police officer? Because at the time, Shadrach Sibia was not a police officer. You worked at the Department of Roads and Transport, MEC's Office of Road and Transport. Why did Shadrach Sibia not call the police? Because he was not a police officer. As a former police officer, he knew that the first thing to do was to call the police. Now, should someone be charged with defeating the ends of justice here, who should be charged? Shadrach Sibia is the first person to be charged because it means that he is the one who called all other irrelevant persons and not the police. So why did he do that? Let's forget about the rest of the people because according to the Criminal Procedure Act, all witnesses, all witnesses and persons of interest must be called, must give their statements, and if they given the statements, they must be called as witnesses. So why is the state avoiding the eyewitnesses? Why is the state avoiding the eyewitnesses and call people who were totally not on the scene, people who got involved in this matter 5 years later? What kind of a case is this? And how can we as South Africans be quiet and allow this to happen? I was affected to a criminal trial. And in my criminal trial, every time when the state comes with something that doesn't have some the statement, like Gininda is now reading a statement of someone else in court. The magistrate would have asked in the first place, are you going to come, call state? Are you going to call this person to come and confirm that statement? And if the state say, no, we are not going to call, and then the magistrate will say, then I'm not going to allow that statement to be read in court because the author of that statement. Although he is saying to us that yes, you know what, in my case, there was even an email that was sent by Parliament to me, and the magistrate asked me, as the author of that email going to come and confirm that they indeed send the email to you? And I said, yes, the author will come and testify. And then the magistrate say, if it's on record that the author will come and testify, then I will allow the email. Although you are the receiver of the email, you are the owner of the email, but someone must come and confirm that you received it. They indeed send that email to. What nonsense is happening in court? Whereby Kinida are being allowed to read a statement of Mjiako. Why can Mjiako not be called to court? Because Mjiako, in the first place, they allege that Mjiako is Mtanzi's lawyer. If Mtanzi is refuting the claims that Mjiako is his lawyer, there's no nonsense like client attorney privilege here. because the client refused the claim that this person is my attorney. So where does client attorney privilege fit in? So the rest of the people who were in the house, the rest of the senior officers that came to the house, the Teles, the Musikidi, the Ndovus, all those other senior officers who were in that house, they are the relevant. There's names of those officers, senior members of Saps management who were there. There's names of MECs who were there. They are the ones who must be called because in the docket, they are being named that these people have been here on this scene. And afterwards, this and this and this and this happened. The scene has been cleaned, the scene has been contaminated. Once the scene is contaminated, you can't now work on the same scene because that scene has already been contaminated. Now you must go to the people who contaminated the scene, who defeated the ends of justice. Those are the people that must be charged. Because you cannot now come and charge 5 accused people on a contaminated scene, a scene that was already contaminated by members of SAP and by a member who was not even an official. It's someone who's now a member of SAP, but at the time he was not a police officer. So those people are the people who are supposed to be in court and not the trackers and whoever else that is coming. Even the people who came afterwards, the day after, the ballistics, whoever. When the ballistic arrived on the scene was already contaminated. The scene was already contaminated.
Okay, Suspect. I want to ask something else. Is Gininda South African or is he Swati or whatever?
According to information that I received, the confirmation is not confirmed. We are still working on it. It's alleged that Gininda is a Swati national. He was not born. Let's say, apparently he was not born in South Africa. It was not born of that. Some of our people are working on the ground. They've confirmed there is a family somewhere in KZN alleging that they are Kininda's family, but they cannot give them intimate information about Kininda and Kininda's father and Kininda's mother. You know what? If I talk about intimate information, I talk about someone is going to ask you, but where's your father buried? Where's your mother buried? Where's the graves? They don't have that information. So families have information, especially our black families have information about, especially graves, grandmothers and fathers and grandfathers. You cannot just have one family in one house and there's no surrounding families or extended families. That is highly suspicious.
Okay. And the other time you posted emails of appointment of Makubo, Butelezi, Gininda, who else? Ramuhalana.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah,
And it was the four of them. And that email does not specify who is the leader, who's bigger
who
than
is the
who.
lady? Yes.
It doesn't
That
specify that.
email does not specify because there's someone's name is not there who was actually also on the same rank as Kininda, was also appointed in the team, was on the same rank in Gininda. Remember when Gininda was appointed in the Senzo Meyiwa team, it was just after his promotion to a colonel. So that colonel has been a colonel before Gininda for years. And usually in SAPS, the one with more years is the senior. So that's why I say Gininda was not appointed as the team leader because there was a senior colonel also in the team to him. So how come Gininda is telling everyone that he was the team leader? He was not a team leader.
Okay. There was a case that Makubo was arrested for. What case was that
It
last
was
year?
an old case that Makubu was arrested for, and I can tell you here now that Makubu was arrested on instructions. Former National Commissioner, General Sitole. General Sitole and Ginina comes way back. They are very, very, very close. In that case, Makulu was deliberately implicated in that case, whereby the witnesses or the accused in that case, one of the accused in that case was promised, because when they arrested him, they confiscated money from him. And then he was promised that should he give them, testified against Makubu, they will return his money. And then he agreed. He agreed with him. Okay, fine. I will testify against Makubu. And when it was his time to testify in court, he was saying it straight up that I don't know Makubu. He was not part of whatever happened here. I was told that I was promised that if should I implicate him in this crime, that I will get my money back. And Makubu was acquitted of all charges. Currently, Makubu is suing the state on that case.
Phew. The state is always being sued. Yo, 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 yo. So when Makubo and Kininda and Joyce and the other guys were working together, they still let's say they were working and they knew about the Senzo Meyiwa case, obviously. However, they had to sit and investigate together. I
Mm.
can bet you that when Makubo's time come to court, he will tell us details of what he has done, everything that he went through, and to get where he enjoys God, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to Gininda, I think he is about to done with his evidence in chief right now. I still
Mm.
have not heard Gininda saying I did ABCD in order
Yes.
to move
Yes.
with case 636. I have not gotten to where I understand exactly what is it that he has done. I did not hear Gininda saying that I spoke to Kelly Kumalo, I spoke to Senzo's mother or anyone from Senzo's family, I spoke to Senzo's wife, or I don't hear him saying about anything about the guys that were inside the house with Senzo or even related members of their families. I don't hear anything. All I
Nothing.
hear is how he arrested
Propositions.
the accused
Propositions.
from a hearsay situation from
Mm.
Zungu and his father. So let's talk about this Zungu story, because
Okay.
initially he told the court that it was Zungu. Oh, yes, Zungu told the court that he was with the accused on that day. Now
Mm.
Kininda is here talking about an Absalom who is apparently Zungu's father. Now we are getting confused because he says that he's the one that gave direct evidence. And
Mm.
still, that information is not exactly telling us that Kininda has investigated and what happened to the investigation and how he did the investigation. Do you know
Mm.
anything about all of this?
Remember Makubu was on the crime scene that night.
Yes.
Linda was never on that crime scene. Makubu was called by Shadrach Sibia to come to the crime scene to come and assess the crime scene. Makubu went there. Makubu was still working at the political killing team in KZN. Now you must ask yourself the question: instead of calling 10 111 flying squad or the call center, 10 111 call center, Sibia called Makubu. Why? Okay, Makubu went there. Makubu assessed the situation, the crime scene. Makubu speak with a few people on the scene. And Makubu get information as an investigation officer, detective. He get information. People are talking on the scene. And then Makubu went to Sibia. And Makubu tell Sibia, there was no intruders in this house. There was no intruders in this house. And what happened? Sibia tells Makubu that he didn't like that response. He didn't like that response, and he told Makubu that, you know what, I don't need you anymore. I don't know why he called him in the first place. So Makubu got in his car and he left. But already as an investigation of not knowing that you will later be appointed as the investigation officer in that matter. So now him being appointed as an investigation officer in this matter already have more information than Gininda. That's why he opened 375. When Gininda started with this nonsense of starting to steal crucial statements from the docket, of starting to implicate and starting to try and divert the case to another direction. Makubu and Butelezi interviewed Tumelo. They went to KZN, they interviewed Tumelo, they interviewed Ntokozizi, they interviewed everyone. And what Gininda no, there was a section 204 for 2014. Gininda is now trying to tell us that no, because of the 3-year lapse, we couldn't get a section 204. There was a section 204 2014, which is in the possession of the defense. There was ballistic evidence. There was ballistic test done in 2014, which is in the possession, everything that was supposed to be done, because the people who investigated their docket from 2014 were general. Their docket was even here in Free State. There's a general in Free State who are now retired, who also investigated their docket. What Belinda don't know, that the docket didn't start with him. Those people who investigated their docket, they did a thorough investigation. And these people in the house, the people who were the person who were responsible, they got a statement, they knew what happened in the house. And Ginita is the one who took this investigation with the assistance of those Becky Taylors, those Sibias, those Sikidis, whoever else who came with bullets and say, no, the bullet was hanging there, and according to Maku, there was no bullet in the door. It was inside the house. There was no bullet in the door. And the reason why he said that the way the people explained to him how everyone was standing when Senzo was shot, there was no way that the bullet could have gone through the door. The bullets would have gone the other direction, not through the door. So now, Gininda being now promoted from a colonel now to a brigadier by Sitole, feels now that this is his case. And this is how now they start. Remember, Becky Taylor went before these 5 accused was arrested. I think it was a few months before they were arrested. Becky Taylor went on national television. I will look for that media briefing. And they said to the president on national television, if you keep me as if I as the killers of Senzo Meyiwa, I'm going to resign.
He did that.
That's what Becky Taylor said. And a few 2 months down the line, chumps, there they have 5 people. Now, let me ask you a simple question. If Ntanzi and Sibia confessed that they did kill Senzo, why did they refuse to get in the box?
Yes, I remember that day. They refused to get in the box.
Remember, there's already now confessions. Why did they refuse to get in? Why did Ntanzi attempt? Remember, all of us saw Ntanzi attempt to talk to the magistrate, to tell the
Yes.
magistrate, I don't know this man. But the magistrate didn't want to listen to Ntanzi. He said to Ntanzi, no, you will listen to your lawyer. While Ntanzi tell him, but he's not, Ntanzi trying to tell him, but he's not my lawyer. And now tell me another thing. Where did you ever see investigation officer getting a lawyer for the accused, arranging a legal representative for the accused? Now
Speaking
Gininda
of that, speaking of that, does Mjiako or Gininda and Mjiako, do they know each other way before
yes,
this?
they were working together in crime intelligence. They know each other. I remember, as I said in my previous post, Mjiako, when he joined crime intelligence, he was known as Dada. His surname was Dada. When he was working with Gininda in crime intelligence, they know one another.
Why is he
That's
acting as if
why.
he doesn't know him?
Exactly. Now they come, people wants to tell us, no, the accused said they didn't know, they don't know one another. Those are listening selectively. Why are you talking about the fact that Njiako and Gininda as colleagues, they've been working together forever?
Sispeti.
They've been working together with Richard Mdluli, with uh, Kila Timba, were in crime intelligence.
Where is
Before
Mjiako
Mjako,
now?
before Mjako, apparently Mjako is in Cape Town now. Before Mjako was arrested for hijacking,
While
before,
working for crime intelligence.
yes, he was
I
working for
went
crime.
man.
When he was arrested for hijacking a truck with a gun, he was dismissed from SAPS because, in fact, he resigned before he was dismissed because he was charged departmentally for that crime of hijacking, and he resigned before he was dismissed. The same Jaco that Gininda have been working with, I have proof that Gininda and Jaco have been working together in crime intelligence. There's proof.
The same Diego that he acts as if he doesn't know.
The same Dominic Dladla.
Ntokozo.
Ntokozo Dominic Dladla. Change his surname to Mjiako. And Mjiako is not from South Africa. He's an Ugandan national.
Hi.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
Is he not from KZN?
No. Mjiako is a operative. He's a crime intelligence operative. Infiltrated South Africa through these brother bonds, those kind of things. There's photos that I posted on my pages.
I saw them, yes.
There's Mjiako. If you can go and research that brother bond or whatever they call themselves that Mjiako belongs to. They infiltrated SAPS through crime intelligence. And he's not the only one. There's a lot of them in the
And
police who
Sitole?
infiltrate. Sitole is from Kwandebele.
Kwandebele.
Mm. Sitole didn't even have a matric certificate. When after the July
He
unrest,
didn't have a what?
matric certificate, he didn't have. You was there. You see that hearings, the July unrest hearings,
Yes.
where he was asked where did he complete his matric, and he couldn't answer. And they ask him, they say, "Oh, we want to know because according to your CV, you must go and search on Google Sitole's CV. According to your CV, they don't. There's no mention of where you completed your matric." And then he said that no, he completed his matric somewhere at a school in Kwadem in Ndebele. Sitole never submitted the matric certificate to SAPS to show
But
that
how
he.
was he employed?
Sitole is from the Bantustan police.
Oh, they were getting employed by standard 8 back then.
Yes.
Sure. Suspect. Okay, suspect, tell me about let's talk about the Senzo Meyiwa case now. Um we spoke at length about Gininda. I want us to talk about Baloyi. Why do you think Ubaloyi had that case from lower court up to high court? Why does he do that?
Because remember
Wait,
Baloy,
sorry,
what
suspect.
Baloy
Sorry,
did.
suspect. Sorry, suspect. Has it ever happened?
No,
I'm sure maybe there's nothing wrong like that, or with
no.
that, perhaps, but maybe there's nothing illegal with it. But has it ever happened where we had a case from magistrate to high court? It's been one prosecutor.
Mm-mm. That's,
Why this
that's,
one?
that's when we talk about jurisdiction. Remember, uh, courts have jurisdiction. If you were in the
Yes.
lower court, your jurisdiction is in the lower court. If you in a certain district, let's say you in Gauteng North, your jurisdiction is in Gauteng North. maybe you go to a Pretoria, your jurisdiction is in that Pretoria court. You cannot move from one court, from a lower court to a higher court, the same. You are way out of your jurisdiction. So that was highly irregular. And that should have been addressed. Remember, Advocate Tefo even addressed it. They wrote a letter to Jamila Batawi to say that. But Baloy is acting out of his jurisdiction. Why is Baloy doing to do that? Allowed to do that? Because it's irregular. It's an irregular practice. It never happened before. It started in this case of Senzo Meyiwa.
Also, speaking of jurisdiction, Gauteng has Pretoria and Johannesburg. And
Mm.
this case, the
Is
crime
out
happened
of the jurisdiction.
in
Yes.
Johannesburg. So
Mm.
why did they move it to Pretoria?
As I say again, it has been moved out of the jurisdiction because we know now why. All of us know now why, because the case had to be manipulated. The case had to stay in Baloy's hands. Baloy had to remain the prosecutor in this case because they were trying to cover up what happened that night in the Kumalo house.
Why is Baloy assisting when it comes to that cover up? Why would he assist if in that cover up?
Yeah, but according to my information, initially Baloy signed or agreed with the indictment to arrest all the people in the house. And then a week later, Baloy changed. And I believe he didn't change by himself. By himself, I believe that he was made to change. Someone made him to change because Makubu went to him to sign the indictment to arrest the people in the house. And he agreed with Makubu that yes, there's enough evidence to arrest these people because they tampered with a crime scene. And then all of a sudden, that's why then Africa Tebo now went and opened a case against Baloy for defeating the ends of justice. Because even before that, Tebo had a meeting with Baloy, they already discussed it. And Baloy agreed that yes, there's enough evidence to charge everyone in the house. And all of a sudden, a week later, Baloy's minds would be changed. And I believe that the only reason why a prosecutor would go to such lengths is because they have something on him. Someone is pulling his strings.
Yes, Patty. This is a lot of information. I want to read the comment section for you. Maybe there are people that have asked questions, and then we hear
Okay.
their questions also, because this is yo. Uh, guys, can we please like the live? Only 113 comments, but there are 200 people that did not like. Come on, guys, come on, yo, Aibo. No, thank you. Nothing. You guys are just watching and quiet. Nje kanjani. Come on, guys. Come on, press the like button. Press the like button. If you did not like, please press the like button. So please. Aibo, Aibo. Come on now. Uh okay, let's see. Hi guys. Uh okay, seemingly you guys are not asking any questions to suspect. Okay. Uh First person that okay, Dokasi says, oh Tabo first. Tabo says Miss Hi, Miss Fear Fokol, and you know Miss Fear Fokol is you, ma'am. Zanele says, let's like the live by tapping, guys. Please, Deborah. Hi, Deborah. Hello, Zoleka. She says, hello, madam. How are you? We love you, Sis Patty. Hello, Sis Patty, with lots of love. Greetings and welcome. Peggy says, fear for call. Logistics, God must hide you, Sis Pat, from the evil one. So people are saying nice things here. And then I pray for your safety, Sis Pat, and all the whistleblowers around, because wow, you are revealing things that are hidden in our eyes. And then someone who then says, is there any special application that could compel the commissioner, NPA, or justice minister to investigate or act on Gininda? That's a question.
I believe the only way, NPA cannot just act if there's no case. A case should be opened against Gininda, and the docket must be taken to the NPA, because remember, Gininda is not a member of NPA, he's a police officer. So the only way the NPA can act and prosecute Gininda is when any member of the public, I mean any member of the public, can go to the police station and open a case against Gininda based on the things that we are seeing, because there's evidence before court that Gininda have whatever Gininda have done in this case, because everyone can see what is happening here. So every member of the public is allowed to go up to a police station, open a case against Gininda, and this docket should be taken to the NPA. Then the NPA can make a determination. If the NPA decline to prosecute, then we go to the prosecution route.
Okay. Kuseli says Mchunu must protect you. Kuchotin. Do you think that police can protect you at this point, or they want you
Now,
underground?
there's a lot of police officers they are protecting me.
Oh,
Now,
nice.
now lie. I have a lot of police officers who are looking out for me wherever I go. I will get information even before people are planning to do something. Then I will already get information from police officers. So yes, the ones that wants to hurt me, those ones, all of us also know who are they. So the reason why I went public with all the information, Babita, Yokeran died with a lot of information, and according to information, the first person whom she reported this information to, after she reported it to her department, she reported to Becky Cele, and she died. So I decided that I'm not going to be a silent whistleblower who's going to die, because the most dangerous thing that you can do to yourself is to die with information. Don't die
Yes.
with information. Whenever there's information, expose the information. Whenever there's names to be mentioned, you mention that name to say, if ever something happens to me, this is the persons of interest in this matter. And this is what is still keeping me alive, because everyone knows who are the people of interest should something happen to me.
Okay. Utiani says, Miss Fear Focal in the building. Twist and 10. Greetings to everyone in the house. Pet, continue to drop those files. You have great show, by the way, Noni. Thank you. Stelo, hello, Maputla, Noni. Please block all the intruders. It's Sunday today, and we have special guests there. We don't need distractions.
No,
Guys,
don't block them. They need
no,
to
we
be
won't
here.
block them. They must
They
come
need
and
to be
collect the
here.
information.
Yes, let them come and collect the information and take it back from the handlers to the handlers, because they have handlers who are sending them. Don't block them. Let them be here.
Yes. Guys, can we please like the live? Come on now. 157 likes, Mara. We are 328. Come on, guys, please. Oh, Chabalala, hi. Welcome, Suspect. Thank you for the time you've given us to explain to us how deep corruption has infiltrated our judiciary and Saps. Trust God, He will keep you safe under His wings. Hello, Bernard Johnson and Nico. Noni, I have a question to Patricia. How can we contact the judge president in order to remove this current judge, because he's not handling this case accordingly? He is biased.
Luckily, we have a new one now. What I'm going to do, Noni, after this, I'm going to share the details of the judge president with you. Then you can share it with a viewer so that they can contact the judge president.
All right. Zanele, suspect the Gininda we have isn't the Gininda we were waiting for. Big my sister. Big up my sister. Keep on holding in his 1%. Eddie,
I'm sure
I'd
Gininda
say,
is the father of millions with 2% DNA match. We
yo,
have a lot of children out there. Maybe we are also related.
yo, he exposed himself there. Yo. That was very disappointing. It says, are there guidelines and policies protecting whistleblowers?
There are guidelines and policies to protect whistleblowers, but the most important thing is the government is not implementing it. That's the problem. Everything is in place already. It's only for the government to implement.
Okay. Unyiko Noni, can you please open lines for us to contact Patricia live so that we can ask questions to her? Because it's a privilege for us to have her here. I'm going to give a number, guys, for you to call when we are about to get done. I'm going to give you a number, then you guys can call in, and then someone will ask their questions. Suspect will hear the question. I'm going to give you a number. Uzanele, Suspect, is it true that Longwe wrote a statement while he was in prison after meeting Advocate Tifo?
Yes, I spoke to Tefo. He called me from the prison phone yesterday. Yeah, it's yesterday. And he told me that yes, he does have a signed statement that Longwe gave him.
Did he follow proper procedures to do that?
He followed proper procedures. Remember what he told me? I asked him how did it happen that he got a statement from Longo. He said no. Longo requested to speak to him, and then it was arranged by the wardens. And while he in Longo was in the meeting taking the statement, he requested the paper, pens, and everything from the wardens, and they supplied it to him. And throughout there was people with them while Longe was relaying the events of what happened. And he does have the signed statement. He gave it to someone to keep it safe. And what he wanted to do, he wanted us to be make known that yes, indeed, he did meet with Longwe, and I told him, but currently Longwe is missing, and he's very, very concerned about it. He said it might be that these people heard because they also have their ears and eyes in prison. It might be possible that they heard that they met with Longwe, and Longwe now being missing might mean that they got to Longwe.
Sure.
Remember, you can give someone a statement, but if you're not around to testify on your statement, um, that
The
statement
statement
is
is null and void.
so now we must ask ourselves, if something happened to Longwe, who's responsible? And all of us have the answer to that.
Sure. Okay. Suspect. Okay, hold on. That one we've dealt. Hello, Lindy. Where please raise the like so comments louder. Please, guys, let's like the live. Eddie, what can be done to have policies or ways to protect whistleblowers? I think she spoke about that. Spamanda, I salute you, Noni. Chabala, let's go public. I want to see something. Can they just provoke you, suspect? Intruders, can you please like? You won't die if you do that. Second question: if the defense can call her as their witness, she can go to court to expose their dirty tricks so that the truth can be revealed. But now you are not directly linked with the Senzo Meyiwa case, so there's
No,
nothing that you can now.
there's nothing. All I can do is only advise. All I can do is assist the defense with the information that I get. All I can do is advise the family. The family of Senzo Meyiwa have a lot of options open. They are actually the ones who have the power to write all these letters to the chief justice, to write to the justice commission, to write to the NPA. They are the people who they can even go to the police station and open a case against Longway or whoever they think was is complicit in the murder of Senzo. They can go to the police station and open a case to all the people who tampered with the scene. They have all those, and I hope they are listening to this and go out there. And once a docket is open, the prosecutor, the NPA must make a determination to say that and they have the evidence. They can use the evidence in docket 375 to open a case against the people in the house. And that will be a whole new docket. Understand my point? So they have all those options.
Ish. Okay, is there I6 or FBI or FSB helping South Africans South African whistleblowers at least.
South African whistleblowers, there's organization in South Africa is now Public Interest South Africa, which was recently founded by Mr. Tebogo Kaus, where I was recently for the Whistleblower Awards. And there's Whistleblower House, which was established in 2022. They are also assisting whistleblowers. Currently, now it's the only two organizations in South Africa. I have been assisted by organizations abroad, like what is this? Okay, PLAF. PLAF is from Switzerland. Then there's this other organization who also, when I fled the country, they were the ones who assisted me. And yeah, mainly South Africans are not being assisted. The South African government is not assisting whistleblowers. Are two um, organizations that are assisting whistleblowers, and they get funds from private sponsors.
Sure. Okay. I'm checking questions that good afternoon, ladies. This Gininda guy must be investigated. I am of the opinion that Gininda is a fallen angel, him and his accomplices. Someone says, Spamanda says he can't even speak Ngoni languages properly. Uh, Jokasi, Mapiri Sikala. Mapiri wasn't called because she probably can't be coached. She'll stop and stutter because Saps, in fact, probably cleaned the crime scene. Aye, guys.
The only thing
Uh,
that happened here, Noni, is the defense have an option to subpoena all the people who were in the house.
yes, they do. I agree. Okay,
So
Ash is asking, Kinida is the eliminator of witnesses. What were you looking at hospital if not threatening the doctor?
yes,
So is it
yes.
ethical for Kininda to go and look for someone that was said to be a witness for
Now
the defense?
remember, that is a defense witness, and Gininda haven't discussed this with the defense. They haven't discussed this with the defense. You cannot just go and look for a witness that was mentioned by the defense without discussing it with the defense to ask them whether it's fine for me to go and get a statement of this person. There's unethical, and for that also, Gininda should be held accountable. But should something happen to a defense witness, then we will all know that it's Gininda. What is Gininda's business with the defense? With it's only to intimidate that witness or to get rid of that witness.
I think he did not mean to tell us that. It just happened. It just
Now
came out of his tongue.
God was playing with his tongue. God was playing with his tongue, and he just let it go there inside because it slipped out. Because now it also tells us that Gininda being under oath, it also is also been following this case all the while.
Someone says that he justified not speaking to Senzo's family using AfriForum. Speaking of AfriForum,
He doesn't have a reason to say that he couldn't speak to Senzo's family because of AfriForum. AfriForum is a briefing council. As I said, if you want to speak to the family and there's a briefing council, you go to the briefing council and you say to the briefing council, but there's some things that I need to discuss with the family relating to the case. There's no reason to say everyone was not standing in his way to say, no, you are not supposed to speak to the family, because remember, AfriForum is actually supporting Gininda.
yes.
So how can he now say that because of AfriForum, he could not speak to the Meyiwa family?
Yeah. Guys, it's been over an hour now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you a number. If you have any questions that you want to ask Suspect, you can call in and ask your question. And then after that, we are going to close. It's been over an hour. Suspect, we should do this every other Sunday, yes, even if it's once a month, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, guys. Guys, here's the number. You can make your calls. Take it down quickly, please. Here's a number. Please call this number. I'm waiting on your calls. Take this number. While we are waiting for people to take this number, someone says, I must ask you about Judge Rata. Has Judge Rata ever found any person not guilty?
According to all the cases that I heard about Rata, all his cases, he found the accused guilty, but there was a case where he found an accused guilty wrongly. He found him wrongly guilty of murder. He was not trialed for murder. He was trialed with other accused there were two counts. There was a count of murder and there was another count. So we found this person guilty of murder while he was not trialed
Hello?
for murder. And what he did
Hello?
later was to apologize. And he retracted
I
or he
remember.
withdrew. Mm. So one of Rata's cases, I think, also was taken under review. I must just go and check which case it was. But Rata was also involved in the Mdluli case, which is also a red flag because Gininda, Mdluli, they've been working together for a very long time. And remember the time where the sentencing of Mdluli, Rata received a phone call
Hello?
from the GP inside
Hi.
court.
How are you, Noni?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, Mister. I've got one question, which is I want to ask from my sister.
Yes. Suspect, can you hear?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I want to find out, there was a rumor that Baloyi and Chico, they are related. Is it true?
According to the information that I have, yes, they are related through marriage.
Oh.
They are related through marriage. They are not related through blood. They are related through marriage.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right then. Thank you, Puti.
Thank you, my sister.
All right. Okay, guys, I guess that's the only person who wants to call. I'm not gonna be able to read all your questions, guys. Okay, someone else is calling. Hello? Ngiyaphila, enkosi unjani?
Ngiyaphila nomdade, ngicela ungibuzele kusiphethe
Yes.
ukuthi why uGilinda engazange a-interviewwe i-NCA the time i-interviewa Senzo Meyiwa e-court as i-head we-investigate.
Phinde question yakho?
Ngibuza ukuthi why engazange a-interviewwe yena uGilinda as i-head investigator.
Oh.
Because they were interviewing Senzo Meyiwa, right?
Yes.
The time they refused ukuthi banyuke or accuse.
Yes.
But why now yena as i-head investigator ingazange interview? Number two, why engazange ihambe iyo-interviewer or i-families one-on-one?
Okay, thank you so much, Mama. Yes.
Thank you, my darling.
All right. All right. Uvile suspect?
The first question, can you just repeat the first question? I had the second one.
She's asking why Ukininda was never interviewed when NCA. Do you remember the first day the guys appeared in court and they refused to get into the dock?
Yeah.
So when they refused to get into the dock, after that incident, the people were interviewed, and then Meyiwa Spiso was interviewed by ENCA, but Kininda was never interviewed. She's asking, why did that happen? I don't think you will know that.
I really don't know.
Yes.
I really
And
don't
then
know. Because, okay.
the second question, she's asking why Kininda never interviewed the Meyiwa family members.
as we said, remember Gininda was asked this question why he never interviewed the family members, and he said it was because of AfriForum. So
Yes.
I guess Gininda did not interview the Miwa family members because he already made up his own case.
Okay.
And the Miwa family members didn't agree with this case because Sifiso was clear from the word go when those 5 accused were arrested, they arrested the wrong people. So usually the investigation officer work hand in hand with the family. The investigation officer, everything that you will be on contact with the family, but in this instance, the only people that were in contact with the family was Butelezi in Makubu. Ininda
All
never
right.
spoke to our family.
Okay. Hello, Ravek. How are you?
Hello, Noni.
Hi.
Hello, Noni.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. My name is Rival. I've got 2 questions to ask.
Yes.
Now, they say Zungu is their main witness, right?
That's what they say. Yes.
So, yes. Now, what I don't understand, Zungu's information is hearsay.
Yes.
His father is the one that saw these guys talking, right?
Yes.
And then why is it that the statement was not taken from the father? Because if he had from the father, so Zungu, it means he was not at the hostel. How come he managed to pinpoint the 5 at the hostel when he was not there, when the father is the one that gave him the information? And why was his statement admitted in court while it is hearsay?
Yes.
Secondly, my theory is this. I think my theory, the reason why she did not come on the scent is because the blood that was on the floor was the blood of Longwe Twala. So if that blood was found in the house, it then was going to eliminate this thing of him being out of the house. You know, he said that he's gone out of the house. So they had to get rid of his blood quickly so that when they do DNA, his blood is not found. So that the narrative that they were intruders in the house sticks. Thank you, Noni.
Thank you. Did you hear both? Ne?
I hear that, and the other thing that we should ask ourselves, Noni, is that Gininda instead went to look for a doctor. The simplest way to
Sorry about that. You can drop the call, sir.
resolve this matters. Longwe was in custody for how long? 2 weeks. Why didn't Gininda have the same energy to call Mangena and say, let's go to Longwe? To just this narrative that are being pushed by the defense to say Longwe is being shot. Let's go to Longwe, take his height, check his ankle, and do all those things that they did to the accused. That was the most logical thing to do than to go and look for a doctor with only a name. So what I believe also is the reason why the blood was cleaned is because that it was not Senzo's blood, it was the blood of another person. That's why I also believe that there's the reason Mapiri cleaned the blood, because how do you clean blood from a crime scene? And at the end of the day, it means they said that there was absolutely no blood on the crime scene, and now Gininda come and talks a lot of nonsense. I also believe that Mapiri should be called, and Lishabani, General Lishabani, is also the most important witness because he's the one who told Zungu to say, Zungu, stop with this nonsense of telling people that you were there. Stop with this nonsense. And Zungu was told that. And the next thing, Zungu was in Sitole's office after Makubu in Lishabani told him that what he was saying is not the truth. So Lishabani must be called as a witness. Remember when Ngomezulu wanted to call Lishabani and Baloy blocked him to say Lishabani is his witness. He never called Lishabani as a witness. So the defense is now free to call Lishabani so that he can come and say, what did he tell Zungu on that day when they met?
Thank you, Mommy. Hello. Hello. He will call again. So many calls that are coming through, yeah. Okay. The one thing that I just forgot to ask about is the firearm. Okay, let's take these calls quickly.
Okay.
Hello. Hi. Ndiyaphila kunjani? Hold on for me, please. Hold on for me, please. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I want to ask Hostess that guy, why Rata is so very aggressive towards defense all the way, and why Rata allowed the witness of the state to be very, 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 what do you call it? Very, very disrespectful to the
Defense.
defense. Yeah, why should like, because we don't like it. So if you can articulate to us what is it, so that we can get the gist of the whole narrative.
All right. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
I guess everyone have already seen that Rata is on the side of the state because he's really very rude to the witnesses of the defense, and he's very rude to the defense, but
Yes.
very lenient to the remember when Pinky was sick, Rata was the one
Yes.
who offered. You offered. Pinky didn't say she want to go to the doctor. You offered and say, I will give you 2 weeks to go and heal from whatever you have. But when Ngomezulu got sick, Rata even asked so disrespectfully whether the sick note that was submitted was from a South African doctor. And
I
I mean, that is
remember.
undermining. That is undermining the defense. That is undermining South African doctors for that matter. So I don't know why, but I guess everyone you can think what you want. And according to me, in my opinion, Rata's a hired gun. Let's use that word again. Rata
Okay.
is a hired gun, in my opinion. He's there to convict the accused persons, and Noni, I have already made peace. These 5 people are going to be found guilty. I have already told myself, you know what, I'm ready for the Supreme Court of Appeal. There we're going to have a full bench who are not going to be biased, who are going to listen to evidence and not propositions.
All right. Let's take this last person and then we're gonna finish up and close. Hello. Hello. Okay. They no longer want to speak. Oh. Hello.
I see someone is asking me.
Hi, Sister Noni.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm in the village. Yeah, this is France here. I want to ask a suspect
Yes.
with this sick information that she's got for this Ngulugu to Kinina. Can she herself make a case out of it in terms of this contempt of God?
Did you get that question, Sister? Okay, she's gonna answer. Listen on the other side.
Currently, like I said, this is the prerogative of the family to take steps against Gininda. And I did speak to Sifiso. I'm speaking to Sifiso on a regular basis to say, Sifiso, you as a family must come together and decide what are you going to do about what is currently happening. Because me as a outstander, I'm an outsider. I cannot go and say now I want to open a case of defeating an ends or whatever against Gininda. But I am busy with Gininda on other matters, on corruption matters, on other corruption matters. And that process is in a really advanced stage to a point that I can say it's just a matter of time before steps are going to be taken against Gininda in the matters that I'm busy with. There's an issue with what I'm pursuing whereby Gininda registered state cars in these children's names. I opened cases there. There are other incidences where I got statements from witnesses who were also tortured to give confessions by Gininda in the same team of him. So those people open cases against Gininda. So on separate matters, they are already in an advanced stage regarding everything that Gininda did. And I believe it's just a matter of time before those matters Kininda will be charged criminally in those matters. But in this specific matter of the Senzo Meyiwa case, this is a prerogative of the family to deal with Gininda in terms of the law.
Okay. Suspect, I'm going to ask you one last question and then we are going to close. And thank you so much for this. About the gun, there is something that you said. I remember we were on a live on TikTok and you wrote about it also on your Facebook or Twitter page. And you spoke about the firearm that Mangena is using. I understood you as in, like you were saying, that firearm that was used for the Cleveland Alexander case. Now, if it can be tested now, if accused number 3 were to say, you know what, can we please go and appeal that case, and can we please also test that firearm, it will come out negative for that case now. Did I understand?
It will definitely come up negative in that case, but it might come up. Remember that firearm was in Mangenda's possession for 5 years. It might come out positive for other cases. So now I would want accused number 5 to push and say, let this firearm be taken for ballistic, because ballistic are going to show everything in which that every shot that firearm from the time that it was. Remember that firearm was tested. The firearm was tested, and according to the investigation officer, after it was tested for ballistic, it didn't come out with a positive match for the statement of Meyiwa murder. And then the
Yes.
firearm was taken before it could. That's why the firearm was then declared safe to be distracted. And then this firearm now lands in Yinina and Mangena's hands. And this firearm is now unlawfully in Mangena's possession for 5 years. We don't know where was that firearm used for the past 5 years. We cannot guarantee that it was somewhere in a drawer of in a safe or wherever. Now this firearm is now there. This firearm must be tested again. This is what the defense must push for. Take this firearm for ballistics again so that we can get the latest ballistic test. Because before it was distracted, it didn't link the firearm to the Senzo Meyiwa before it was declared for distraction. It never linked, because if it linked, there would have been a docket open to say this firearm was involved in this crime. But it was declared safe to be distracted. It was not declared as now exhibit in a murder. It was declared safe to be distracted. So let that firearm be tested again for ballistic, so that we can see after that 5 years what happened with that firearm.
I suspect. So you mentioned something about it being chances are now they change the barrel to be the one of I choose number 5 for the docket of KZN.
Hence, it should be, if there is a possibility, it might be a possibility. Hence, if it gets tested, it must not go through that process of Mangena, Gininda. It must now be independently tested. It must now be independently, but at least 2 independent ballistic laboratories.
Sure. Suspect, we can sit here for 2 hours, I know, but it's been long, man. I think we have not spoken enough. So I'm going to organize again so that another Sunday, somewhere here in November, even if it's the last Sunday of November, we can do this again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this. When you come again, we will break down other matters.
Yeah,
And
yeah, there will
yeah,
be new. justice.
Yes, 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 yes. There's too
Okay,
much
no.
corruption that and
Whoa,
it's
but
just that for now.
I'm
It's
on
just that
top
for
of the
now we
corruption,
interested
Noni.
in the Senzo Meyiwa side of things.
Yeah. But you know what the case is, what it is, because of the corruption that it's been happening in police. You cannot treat it as an isolated case. This
Yes.
case is because what it is, because of police corruption. And
Eish,
the Senzo Meyiwa case exposed the corruption in the police. So we must treat this corruption as a whole. And what I can tell you now currently, people heads are going to roll very, very soon. It's just, like I said, it's just a matter of time. Heads are going to roll because I've spoken to at least 4 police officers in KZN who went through the same thing of being accused for crimes they never committed. One of them have been locked up and detained without bail for 4 years. 4 years. At least yesterday or Friday, members of the Portfolio Committee of Police, I gave them the information, everything, and they visited this police officer. And guess what? The up is this closely connected. You know what? This is a syndicate of police
sure.
officers who are committing this corruption in the SCPS. So the people who locked him up, they even killed his witness in witness protection. They found a decomposed body of his witness inside the safe house. He exposed the corruption of the senior members in crime intelligence. And
Sure.
what I'm telling you is most of the corruption have been committed by senior members in the police office. And that night on that crime scene was senior members of the South African police office. And we cannot deal with it anymore. We cannot deal
Ish.
with it anymore.
We are done, Suspect. We are done with
Okay,
this in
no,
South Africa.
thank you
But
so much.
we will come back again the last Sunday
In
of
November. Yes.
November. Thank you so much. We'll talk you and I on the phone.
Okay.
Thank you very very
Yes.
much for today, guys.
I
I
will
can't read
share.
all your comments.
Okay, I will share the details, the email address and everything of the Chief Justice with you on WhatsApp.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Have
no.
a good afternoon. Eh?
Thank you, and thank you to the viewers and everyone. Bye.
Bye bye. Yo, guys. What an expose. Thank you so much, guys, for your presence. Thank you, guys. It's too much. I can't read all these comments. It's a lot of them. I'm very, very sorry. And we ran out of time. It's been 1 hour, 20 minutes already. So thank you so much, guys. Because if I keep reading, you keep bringing more questions. I read, you keep bringing more questions. Just know that I'm aware of them. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. What I'll do, I'll go on my live and then I'm going to take all the crucial questions that were here that I did not get to ask. And then for the next time that she comes here, which is going to be the last Sunday of November, I'm going to ask these questions. So please forgive me just this time. Please forgive me. Thank you so much, guys. I enjoyed this. I hope I'm going to learn to do more of this and be more professional with it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Sunday, guys. Bye bye. Mara anilakhanga no-like nina, anilayikhanga no-like. Yho, hayi sana. Bye bye kodwa.